guys, it's your girl Rasati out here in Singapore, and thank you so much for joining in to the Night Owl podcast. Yes, I'm in a kind of a Goonies kind of mood, and so I thought I'd start out that way. But you know what? I'm feeling kind of lighthearted and free, and I feel pretty good about the way that my energy is feeling today. I mean, it's been a long day. I've been able to get a lot of work knocked out. There was a moment there where I wasn't sure if I was going to get all the cooking done, but I'm good. We're done. So here I am sitting in the dark, enjoying the quiet of my room with the AC blowing on me at the moment, and I wanted to run through and talk about a one post that kind of caught my eye today. So it's a quote from Georgia O'Keeffe, and she says, "I have already settled it for myself. So flattery and criticism go down the same drain, and I am quite free." I really like that comment, mostly because I never thought of it that way. So flattery obviously has the potential to change the way that you do work, and so does criticism. So flattery could go to your head, and then you become very proud and think you've got it all covered and figured out, and you don't need anyone's help or you don't need any advice. You've got it, right? But criticism has the opposite effect. It could stop you dead in your tracks. It can destroy all of the self-confidence that you built up to this point, and it could make you feel like you are constantly comparing yourself to other people because now you don't know whether you can or you can't, right? That's what criticism has the potential to do. But if you wash them down the same drain, the way she explained or described, I think that could be a good thing. So yes, all of us are looking for validation in some form or another, but what we need to learn to be able to do is to be proud of the fact that we put our best foot forward, we produce a solid piece of content, and then just let it go. There's a quote that comes to mind, something to the effect of, "Art is never completed, it is simply abandoned." And I like that a lot because you could try and wait till it's perfect, but if you are a perfectionist, it will never be perfect, which means you'll never actually put the piece of content out. But also, at the same token, if someone were to say they like it or they don't like it, are you going to change it at the last minute, or are you just going to leave it as it is? So if you wash both the flattery and the criticism down the same drain, the chances are that you are pleased with your work because it was for you are so much greater, and the satisfaction that you have completed something would be yours and yours alone. I know that we want the validation, right? We've talked about this. We want the validation. We want people to see and appreciate. We want people to be able to buy the product if it's something that we are putting up for sale, or the piece of art. We want the feedback. We want to know that it actually is some good stuff. But at the same time, in order for you to continue to create, would you want to be tied to the criticism that comes back from one piece of art so that you adjust and keep going forward? Or would you rather the freedom to be able to create from wherever that place is in your heart, that you have a feeling that you're trying to put out onto the canvas, and you just do it for the sake of doing it because it is yours to be able to do as you please, and it is to satisfy your urge to create, not the public's idea of art or the critics' expectations of what is high fashion or whatever. Like, I really wonder about that sometimes. For me, it's not the same. For me, because I am driven by what my audience needs, I can't afford not to take all of that into consideration. So when I get criticism and when I get flattery, I need to take it with a grain of salt and then see about, how I can adjust my content so that I can reach more people or answer some questions that I may have inadvertently brought up. So for me, it still matters. I don't know that I can wash it down the same drain, but I can stop it from going to my head thinking that I know everything already, because I will never know all there is to know about psychology. And I can stop it from scaring me into feeling like an imposter and not feeling like I have what it takes to be able to make a difference in this world, especially when it comes to helping people recognize trauma, understand what they need in order to heal the trauma, and then to apply all that they've learned so that they can go on about life a little bit more stress-free is basically the goal here. So I like the idea. Perhaps in my personal life, I would like it more, because in my personal life, I can choose what I do and don't listen to as far as parenting advice or fashion tips or how to wear my makeup. It comes down to what I feel comfortable with and what makes me feel beautiful or feel strong or feel confident. So in that matter, yeah, absolutely, I can wash flattering criticism down the same drain. But when it comes to my business, because it is my way of connecting to the world around me, it is important that I really relate to my audience and they're able to see themselves in some of the stories that I tell, that I pay attention to the comments that come down the pike. I mean, back when Black Lives Matter, there were so many comments that were flying all over the place, and it took me a couple of posts and a couple of videos for me to really set everybody down and help them understand, look, I'm not against anything. I'm for inclusion all the way, forever. That's all I've ever done. But if you're going to pick up my words because someone else used those same words to mean something else, then we have another conversation to have. So I did the best that I could. I did take into consideration all of that feedback. It was a little while, that period of time, but it is helpful to know that it relieves me of some of the pressure of being perfect or being right. I don't want to be right. I do want to be useful though. And there's a difference between being right and being useful, in my opinion. For me, I want to make sure that I'm putting out as much information as possible. I'm giving you as many perspectives on a particular situation as much as I can. And that also depends on how much I've experienced in my own life. So if I'm able to give you a new perspective that you maybe haven't considered before, then that is my job well done. And I feel good about that. And usually that comes through a series of conversations that I have with a client or in a group, and then I can tell what the aha moment is. Oh my gosh, okay, I never saw it that way. Now I understand. So for me to be able to transform your perspective of people around you from people who are against you to people being for themselves, they're not really against you, but it may seem that way because they're looking out for themselves and you're looking out for yourself, and then your two needs may clash with each other. So I hope this makes sense. If there are any questions whatsoever, let me know. But I think this is an idea that I would like to try and implement a lot more, especially in my personal life. I don't know that I can effectively do that in my business career just yet, mostly because I do still want to take into account what you think, what you feel, how you relate to my content, because the goal here is to educate, not to convince you that I'm right, but to educate so that you have more information at your disposal and you can make a more educated decision about what to do next in your life. So with that being said, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. If you got any questions, as always, drop them in the comments below, contact me, let's talk. But in the meantime, criticism and flattery have the ability to change the way you do things, and it's up to you whether you decide you want to change it for the better or the worse, or just in general, or you just want to forget that either one of them happened and you go on about your merry way and keep creating as you see fit. So either way, it's your choice, and I hope you understand where I'm coming from with this. Anyway, I'll catch you later. Bye.